Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Amritpal Singh. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Prime Minister Modi inaugurates the new terminal building of the Guwahati airport, which is the largest in northeast India. He reiterates his commitment to the development of Assam. US Justice Department releases thousands of documents in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Democrats accuse the Trump administration of trying to hide information. US Operation Hawkeye strikes against ISIS in Syria, hits over 70 targets in coordination with Jordanian forces. Monitoring group says at least 5 IS members killed. And Shubman Gill dropped from India's 2020 World Cup squad. Akshar Patel named the deputy to skipper Surya Kumar Yadav. Ishan Kishan, Rinku Singh returned. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a two-day visit to Assam. Prime Minister Modi on Saturday inaugurated the new terminal building of the Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi International Airport in Guwahati. The Prime Minister received a grand welcome upon his arrival at the new terminal of this international airport. The new building marks a transformative milestone in Assam's connectivity, economic expansion and global engagement. Earlier, the Prime Minister also took a walk through the newly inaugurated building of the Guwahati International Airport. Being India's first nature-themed airport terminal, its design draws inspiration from Assam's biodiversity and cultural heritage under the theme Bamboo Orchids. The terminal offers arriving passengers an immersive forest-like experience. Prime Minister Modi also unveiled the statue of Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi, the first Chief Minister of Assam, in the airport premises. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister slammed Congress for neglecting Assam and reiterated his commitment to the development of Assam.
कांग्रेस 6-7 दशक तक जो गलतियां करती रही और मोदी एक एक करके उसको सुधार रहा है। मोदी कहता है कांग्रेस वाले नॉर्थ ईस्ट जाए या न जाए, मुझे तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट और असम आते ही अपने लोगों के बीच होने का एहसास होता है। मोदी के लिए असम का विकास ये जरूरत भी है, जिम्मेदारी भी है और इसकी जवाबदेही भी है।
And the Prime Minister reiterated that his government removed the 90-year-old colonial restriction that classified bamboo as a tree.
2014 में आपने मुझे काम दिया, उसके पहले हमारे देश में कानून था। ये कानून ऐसा था कि आप बंबू को काट नहीं सकते। हमने कानून हटाया और ग्रास की कैटेगरी में जो सचमुच में बंबू की पहचान है उसमें लाया और तब जाकर के आज ये बांबू से इतनी बड़ी भव्य इमारत निर्माण हुई है। और आज अगर आप सोशल मीडिया देखोगे तो दुनिया भर में भारत के एयरपोर्ट की रचनाओं की चर्चा हो रही है।
The Prime Minister said that his government prioritizes Northeast through the Act East policy. He added that Assam is connecting India with ASEAN countries and is set to become a key driver of India's development.
हमने एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी के जरिए पूर्वोत्तर को प्राथमिकता दी और आज हम असम को भारत के ईस्टर्न गेटवे के रूप में उभरता देख रहे हैं। असम भारत को आसियान देशों से जोड़ने के लिए ब्रिज की भूमिका निभा रहा है। ये शुरुआत अभी बहुत आगे तक जाएगी और असम कई क्षेत्रों में विकसित भारत का इंजन बनेगा।
Prime Minister Modi was greeted warmly by people who lined up on the side of the road as his cavalcade travelled through the city of Guwahati. Earlier, Prime Minister addressed a rally in West Bengal's Nadia virtually. His helicopter had to return to Kolkata airport after failing to land at the Tahirpur helipad due to dense fog. Prime Minister apologized to those who attended the rally at Tahirpur for not being able to address them in person. At the rally, the Prime Minister launched an attack on the ruling Trinamool Congress, accusing the Mamata Banerjee-led party of shielding illegal immigrants. He said that Trinamool backs up the infiltrators and that's why they are opposing the special intensive revision of the voter rolls, while appealing to the people to give an opportunity to a double-engine government in the state. Prime Minister inaugurated and laid foundation stone of two national highway projects worth around 3,200 crore rupees. The projects will serve as a vital link connecting Kolkata and Siliguri. Prime Minister inaugurated 66.7 kilometer long four-laning of the Barajaguli Krishnanagar section of NH 34 in Nadia. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called on all stakeholders in Bangladesh to exercise restraint and reduce tensions and refrain from violence as the country moves towards parliamentary elections scheduled for February. Condemning the killing of youth protest leader Sharif Osman bin Hadi, the UN chief extended condolences to his family and urged the Bangladeshi authorities to carry out a prompt, impartial investigation in line with international human rights standards. UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric conveyed the message during a regular briefing at the UN headquarters on December 19th. The appeal comes amid continuing unrest across the country following Hadi's death, which had sparked nationwide protests and a spate of violent incidents. Reports of arson and violence have emerged from several districts. In Lakshmipur, a child was burned to death and two others seriously injured after miscreants set fire to the house of a local BNP leader early on Saturday. In Chattogram, unidentified attackers torched the residence of National Democratic Front President Barrister Anisul Islam Mahmood. Sporadic incidents of violence were also reported in Dhaka and other major cities. Citing security risks, the Bangladesh Shilp Kala Academy has suspended all programs and exhibitions indefinitely following the recent attacks on cultural organizations, including the Chaya North and Udichi. Okay, now moving on to the much talked about Epstein files. The US Justice Department released a new trove of documents from its investigations into the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, bowing to pressure from lawmakers who forced their disclosure with a new law. The release follows months of political wrangling and rebellion amid rebellion by some of President Trump's staunchest supporters over his administration's reluctance to make public all records tied to the probes into Epstein. Although the Justice Department added a note to the web page where it posted links to the documents that all reasonable efforts have been made to redact victims' personal information, but warned that some could be disclosed inadvertently. A White House spokesperson praised the Trump administration following the latest release by the US Justice Department, and said that the release was a testament to transparency of the administration before accusing Democrat politicians of involvement. A spokesperson for the former U.S. President Bill Clinton responding to a series of photographs released by the Justice Department showing Clinton socializing at one time with late financier Jeffrey Epstein said, "This isn't about Bill Clinton," and suggested the move was about shielding the White House from scrutiny. Meanwhile, Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California has said that the law requires all unclassified documents related to Epstein to be released.
First of all, the law requires all unclassified documents related to Epstein to be released. It's obvious they have not met that standard. Blanchard himself admitted that they only are releasing a few 100,000 documents, and the rest of the documents they will be releasing in the weeks ahead. It is disappointing that they haven't been able to release these documents on time in compliance with the law. While it's clear they're trying at the very least to meet the deadline, they should have been able to do more. And if they couldn't do it, they should have met with the survivors' lawyers or with the Oversight Committee or with Massey and me to explain why not. But at this point, what we need is a clear timeline of when the rest of the documents will be released and an explanation for why they did not release all of them today.
The U.S. military launched large-scale strikes against dozens of Islamic State targets in Syria on Friday in retaliation for an attack on an American personnel. U.S. Central Command said that the strikes hit more than 70 targets across central Syria, adding that Jordanian fighter jets supported the operation. One U.S. official said the strikes were carried out by U.S. F-15 and A-10 jets, along with the Apache helicopters and HIMARS rocket systems. A U.S.-led coalition has been carrying out airstrikes and ground operation in Syria, targeting Islamic State suspects in recent months, often with the involvement of Syria's security forces. President Donald Trump has vowed to retaliate after a suspected ISIS attack killed U.S. personnel last week in Syria. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that the strikes targeted ISIS fighters, infrastructure and weapons sites, and that the operation was the Operation Hawkeye strike. Two U.S. Army soldiers and a civilian interpreter were killed on Saturday in the central Syrian town of Palmyra by an attacker who targeted a convoy of American and Syrian forces before being shot dead, according to the U.S. military. President Trump confirmed at a rally in North Carolina that he had ordered a massive strike against ISIS targets in Syria. Trump said the Syrian government fully supported the strikes.
We hit the ISIS thugs in Syria who were trying to regroup after their decimation by the Trump administration 5 years ago. We hit them hard. I ordered a massive strike on the terrorists that killed our 3 great patriots last week. 2 soldiers, 1 interpreter, all great people. And it was very successful. It was precision. We hit every site flawlessly, and we are restoring peace through strength. We're all over the world.
Amidst its tensions with Venezuela, U.S. is ramping up its military presence in the Caribbean. The U.S. military carried out training exercises at airports in Ponce and Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. President Trump's pressure campaign on Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro continues after it carried out strikes against suspected drug vessels in the region, seized a sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, and declared a blockade on all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. Maduro and his government have vehemently denied links to crime and said that the U.S. is seeking to oust him in order to take control of Venezuela's vast oil reserves. Moving on to peace talks regarding Russia-Ukraine conflict now. Russian officials, including Kremlin negotiator Kirill Dmitriev, will be meeting White House envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on Saturday. Ukrainian negotiators held a round of talks on a settlement to the conflict in Miami in the United States and European teams on Friday. Ukrainian negotiator Rustem Umerov said that the agreement to pursue the joint efforts were made during the talks. He also briefed President Volodymyr Zelensky regarding the talks. However, no trilateral meeting will be held during the Miami talks. The talks are part of a flurry of winter diplomacy in sunny Miami. Witkoff and Kushner met with Umerov in Miami earlier this month without the European involvement and traveled to Moscow to hold talks with Putin. And still coming up on this edition of DD India Live, Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi sentenced to 17 years of rigorous imprisonment in the Tosha Khana II corruption case. Thailand closes over 1,000 schools near the border with Cambodia amid clashes.
For sustainability to become more than just a statement, it needs to be practical and seamlessly fit into our lives.
If we are thinking about a net zero economy. And obviously, automobile sector is at the center of this transformation. Instead of buying new vehicle, if I can retrofit and upgrade my existing vehicle, environmentally speaking, it is superior.
Zero waste means repair, reuse, analyze.
We realized that if women became involved in decision making and generated income, the whole family would benefit. Before, we needed a lot of manpower to handle the waste. But now, with the conveyor belt,
It converts the waste into electricity, powering 2 farms.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Amritpal Singh. A Pakistani court has sentenced former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi to 17 years of rigorous imprisonment on Saturday for corruption involving gifts the jail leader had received while he was Prime Minister. The ruling is the latest legal setback for Khan, who has faced a multitude of cases since his government was removed from power in 2022. Khan has denied the charges and accused the authorities of political persecution. Both Khan and Bibi were handed a 10-year prison sentence on criminal breach of trust and 7 years on corruption charges in a case of alleging the underpricing of state gifts. Under Pakistani law, the government officials must declare all gifts but are allowed to keep those below a certain value or buy them back at a discount. Saturday's sentencing came on charges of undervaluing a jewelry set made by the Italian luxury brand Bulgari that Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman presented to Khan and his wife in May 2021. The case is separate from an earlier case linked to luxury watches and presented by Prince Mohammed, in which Khan was sentenced to 14 years and Bushra Bibi to 7. Thailand has temporarily closed more than 1,000 schools in border areas following a new round of armed clashes between the Thai and Cambodian troops along their border. The Thai Ministry of Education ordered the suspension of classes on Friday in 7 provinces bordering Cambodia, affecting a total loss of 1,060 schools to ensure safety of students and teachers. At local shelters, displaced residents, including children and teenagers, have sought refuge as the fighting continues. Border clashes between the two sides reignited on in December again, less than 2 months after the two sides signed a joint peace declaration, with both sides trading the blame on the other for instigating the attacks. Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan addressed the Apparel Export Promotion Council Awards event as chief guest in New Delhi on Saturday. The event celebrated innovation, resilience, global leadership within India is apparel and textile sector. Addressing the gathering, the Vice President lauded the apparel and textile industry, calling it a vital pillar of India's economic growth for decades. Highlighting India's global setting, Vice President Radhakrishnan said that India is currently the 6th largest exporter of textiles and apparel globally, is a position that reflects the immense contribution of the sector to the nation's economic progress and the growing influence in global markets.
The apparel and textile industry has for decades been a vital pillar of India's economical growth. Not only here, you take any developed economy, the first contributor is always textile sector. India is the 6th largest exporter of textiles and apparels globally, which stands as a testament to the immense contribution of the textile industry in our nation's growth story. You cannot ignore textile industry in India, the reasons behind it. And it will grow, and I am sure you will be doubling your exports in the next 3 years. I am sure about it.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar attended the Pune Book Festival on Saturday. During a panel discussion, the minister reflected on the growing global brand of Indians and urged the young people to make the most of it. Listen in.
When I look at the demography of the world, I look at Europe. They are, even though there's an immigration debate in Europe, Indians are well regarded. People say, देखो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, family centric लोग हैं, tax देते हैं, काम करते हैं. We have tech people, we have aptitude for that. So there is today a global brand of Indians. It's a good brand. We have built it over the years. And young people, I would say young people should take advantage of it. Take advantage of it and look at the world as a global workplace.
USDA Foreign Agriculture Service organized the Taste of America Cook-Off in New Delhi to promote the quality, safety and variety of US food products available in India. Moderated by celebrated Indian chef Ajay Chopra, the contest aimed to highlight US agriculture, food and beverage offerings while introducing new American products to food processors, retailers, chefs, hotel and restaurant importers, the wholesale sellers and the consumer.
We've got celebrity chef Ajay Chopra and 4 home chefs cooking the best American products with an Indian twist. We have American blueberries, cranberries, pecans, walnuts, pistachios, pears, apples, so much great premium quality American food product coming here to India. These exports are great for our trade relationship, but they're also great for Indian diners. It's a real sign of the friendship between our countries to see the way that we're able to use each other's products and each other's food to share something that we both love, food.
The Board of Control for Cricket in India on Saturday named India's squad for 2020 World Cup 2026 and New Zealand 2020 series. Shubman Gill, who was India's vice-captain in the 2020 setup, has been dropped from the team. All-rounder Akshar Patel has been named as a new vice-captain. Chairman of selectors Ajit Agarkar acknowledged Gill's omission was due to his lack of runs. Surya Kumar Yadav will continue to lead the side, with Rinku Singh and Washington Sundar also finding spots in the squad. In form, Ishan Kishan has earned a recall, edging out Jitesh Sharma as a second wicketkeeper behind Sanju Samson. Ishan, in addition to being the backup for wicketkeeper, has been slotted in the reserve opener. India's all-rounder Hardik Pandya slammed a 16-ball half-century to set up a 30-run win over South Africa in the fifth and final 2020 international in Ahmedabad. The win helped hosts to clinch the 5-match series 3-1. A 105-run partnership between Pandya, who hammered 63 runs of 25 balls. Tilak Verma and swept India to 231 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. In reply, South Africa started strongly thanks to 65 runs by Quinton de Kock, but the opener's departure triggered a collapse and the Proteas ended on 201 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. Spinner Varun Chakravarti took 4 wickets. He returned with the 10-wicket haul in the series to be named the player of the series. The win sealed India's 8th consecutive 2020 series triumph, a streak that began in December 2023. And that's it in this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Use the scan the QR codes that you see on your screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amritpal Singh. From my entire team here in Delhi, thank you for watching DD India Live. Bye-bye.